The most important question I ever got was, what is your legacy? Not the material legacy, but if life stops here, how do you want to be remembered? What is that energy? How do people see you? Complaining? Uplifting? What is your frequency legacy? This podcast series is a result of that question. What is my legacy? A phoenix is burning itself on a funeral pyre, rising from the ashes with a renewed youth to live through another cycle. This fertile ash is filled with phoenix frequencies like compassion, love, forgiveness, intuition, wisdom, generosity, resilience, and creativity, and evolution and involution. I've been in the ashes. I want to give voice to the phoenix frequencies. On a weekly basis, I share my resources or interview another phoenix. I'm Nienke van Bezooijen and I welcome you if this resonates with you. And I invite you to the courage to rise. Welcome to the Phoenix Frequencies. We always have a choice how we approach our adversities in our lives. It's a choice, and it's not always an easy choice because when we face adversity, old patterns knock on the door instantly. I was faced a challenge over the last couple of weeks. I got the flu, and in my condition, that isn't a helpful thing to happen if you just look at the physical part of the whole matter. And I had a choice. Did you ever face a situation where you felt really sorry for yourself? Oh my goodness, what's happening to me now? Poor me. Oh, this is really a struggle. And you really love just an arm around your shoulder. And you find yourself a highway to Pity City. I know I knew the road to Pity City quite easily. Being brought up by martyr archetypes, Pity City was the best place to be to get attention. And I got a big example from my parents there. The complaints are easier than solutions, and the drains are getting more attention than positive's way out. But in my nature, I'm way more a seeker for a solution, a different kind of approach. Within HeartMath and Heart Ambassadors, we can call that the de-stress ability. If you are lost in Pity City, you give a lot of significance to what's happening with you. Self-absorption can be a great, great area to end up with, and judgment will follow from that. But you can leave Pity City if you dare. In the Phoenix frequencies, I found out leaving Pity City is way more an energy gain than energy drain. But it is just what kind of glasses you're wearing. What do you want to see? So I will just use my example with the flu. So a very high fever and just knowing that I'm just by myself with no support. What do? I felt physically really awful. Everything was aching, just a typical flu. No food will stay in, no drinks would stay in, brain fog, walking problems, disbalance, knock knock to Pity City. And I changed. I got fed up by my approach in Pity City. How about just swapping self pity, self absorption, judgmental thoughts, poor body, poor me, into this is great. This is an awesome opportunity to see how my body is functioning. And I found myself in a deep admiration how my body is functioning, how I was really surprised how efficient my body can act to something like this. Did it make me better, faster? I don't know. Who cares? but I felt less awful. And yeah, self-honest, really, I got impatient at day 6. But still, the body functioned. I was able to eat, I was able to drink, and I was able to look after myself. I was able to receive some help. So it isn't that awful if you just turn around and take another junction out of Pity City. You can take advantage of looking in your own mirror of behavior. You can see the worst case scenario, or you can see the best option to get out of it. When you face this stage of feeling very uncomfortable, in pain, or in mental pain, there is always another option to leave that uncomfortable place and just look at a different way. And it's important to develop the courage to look under the hood of the car that drives your thoughts and your feelings. What's really there? Are you distracting yourself to numb yourself? Are you distracting yourself to avoid pain or discomfort? Or can you take the advantage of looking in the mirror, see your patterns, and focus on your values? For example, listening and compassion. If I wouldn't have listened to my body, the outcome would have been really different. And I found the courage to be with whatever was. And actually, I had a pretty good time out of Pity City. From insecurity, so how on earth am I going to handle this, to my inner security, I can be with it. I have an intelligent body. I just have to listen. So, what do you do when your world isn't rainbows all over? When adversity kicks in? When you feel that life is harmful to you? You can shift. You can be with that pain. You can be with the discomfort. Avoid being only mindful to it. You can be heartful to it. Leave that harming, leave the judgments, leave the self pity, self absorption, and just listen to the whispers of your heart. What is really needed? What will be more supportive in this way? What thoughts and feelings will be more supportive in this really difficult time? It keeps you out of self occupation, and it's way less draining. Looking back, I can see that my whole approach of being physically ill with a very heavy flu was a learning curve. A couple of years ago, I would have done something totally different, and probably I would have lost myself in Pity City. Or I would be proving myself and just being in bravery how well I could handle it all. But if you have no one to share, you just have to be with you. Do you know how lobsters grow? Rabbi Abram J. Tversky has a great YouTube video about how lobsters grow. Do you know how lobsters grow? When their shell gets too tight and uncomfortable, they go under a rock. They shed their shell and grow a new one so they can grow into it. I think it's great. What do human beings do? They take painkillers, or translated in Dutch as pain softeners. You just put a pill in to avoid real pain. And in my periods of flu, I just was in my bed, made myself comfortable, went under my blanket, like being under a rock, and grew myself a new shell to be stronger when I was able to get up. And the beauty is, the body will show you when you're ready. And the body will, at least told me, when I was going too fast, when I was too impatient, and I could just be with it based on my basic curiosity way of looking at the whole situation. So, how curious do you dare to be when adversity is really there? You can give it a shot. And even when you feel lonely, when you feel disappointed, when you feel with physical discomfort, when you face pain, physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, can you just put on another pair of glasses, the glasses of curiosity, and play around with that. Have fun playing around, and you can use it as your Phoenix frequencies.